Welcome to the Stillness Between Raindrops, a gentle and peaceful sleep story designed to help you unwind and drift into a restful slumber. If you find comfort and calm in this story and would like to discover more peaceful narratives, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for future sleep stories. Before we begin our journey into the rain-kissed town of Hillsbrook, we will start with a short breathing guidance to help you settle in and release any lingering tension. If you prefer to go directly to the story, you can find the chapter timestamps in the description below. Now, allow yourself to settle into your bed, finding a position that feels completely comfortable and supported. Let your body soften and sink into the mattress, feeling the gentle embrace of your blankets. Perhaps adjust your pillow to cradle your head just right. This is your time to let go of the day, to release any thoughts or worries, and simply be present in this quiet moment. Imagine the peaceful atmosphere of Hillsbrook, a town nestled in gentle hills, freshly washed by a soft rain, and let its tranquility begin to envelop you. Let's take a calming breath together. Gently inhale through your nose, drawing in a slow, steady breath, like inhaling the fresh, clean air after a rain shower. Hold it for a moment, noticing the gentle expansion in your chest, and now exhale slowly through your mouth, like a soft sigh of relief, releasing any tension you might be holding. Feel your shoulders soften, your jaw relax, and your forehead smooth out with each exhale. Imagine a gentle wave of calm washing over you with each breath, carrying away any lingering stress and inviting peace into your body and mind. Visualize the glistening leaves in a refreshed garden, the quiet stillness of the air, and the soft, muted sounds of a world at peace after the rain. If your mind wanders, that is perfectly natural. Simply acknowledge the thought and gently guide your attention back to the sound of my voice or to the rhythm of your breath. There is nothing you need to do now, nothing you need to solve or plan. Just allow yourself to be carried by the gentle rhythm of the story, like a leaf floating on a calm stream. Let the quiet beauty of Hillsbrook and the stillness between raindrops wash over you, easing you into a state of deep relaxation and preparing you for a peaceful, restorative sleep. Now, let us begin our story and immerse ourselves in the tranquil world of the stillness between raindrops. Chapter 1. The Silvered World. Clara awoke slowly, a gentle awareness seeping into her consciousness like the soft, diffused light filtering through her bedroom window. It wasn't the bright, assertive light of a sunny morning, but a muted, silvery glow that spoke of a world recently washed clean. She stretched languidly beneath the covers, feeling the soft cotton sheets against her skin, a familiar comfort that eased her further into wakefulness. A deep breath filled her lungs with air that felt remarkably fresh and clean, carrying a subtle, earthy scent that she recognized instantly as petrichor, the fragrance of rain kissing dry earth. Opening her eyes, she looked towards the window. The glass was beaded with lingering droplets, each one a tiny lens distorting the world outside into shimmering fragments of green and gray. Beyond the window pane, the garden was draped in a soft, misty light, the colors muted yet intensely vibrant at the same time. The leaves of the trees glistened like polished jade, and the cobblestones of the path below shimmered with a damp sheen. It was a world transformed, hushed and still, holding its breath in the quiet aftermath of the rain. She pushed back the covers and swung her legs out of bed, her bare feet meeting the cool wooden floorboards. The air in the room was cool and still, carrying the faintest hint of dampness that was somehow refreshing rather than clammy. As she walked to the window and gently pushed it open, a wave of cool, moist air washed over her face, carrying with it the delicate scent of wet roses and freshly turned soil from her garden below. The sounds of the morning were muted, distant, the faint murmur of a faraway stream, the soft rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze, the occasional chirping of a bird testing the stillness. Leaning on the windowsill, Clara closed her eyes for a moment, simply breathing in the quiet beauty of the post-rain morning. She could feel the coolness of the air on her skin, a gentle caress that awakened her senses without jarring them. The world felt hushed, expectant, as if pausing to appreciate the profound stillness that had descended after the gentle storm. It was in these moments, in the quiet spaces between the louder rhythms of life, that she found her deepest peace, her truest sense of connection to the world around her. She noticed a spider web strung delicately between two rose bushes just outside her window, each thread adorned with tiny, glistening droplets that caught the soft light like miniature diamonds. The intricate pattern, usually almost invisible, was now highlighted and magnified by the moisture, a testament to the hidden beauty that rain could reveal. A bumblebee, its fur still damp and slightly flattened, buzzed lazily around a nearby lavender bush, its gentle hum a comforting sound in the quiet morning air. Even the smallest details seemed imbued with a special clarity, a heightened sense of presence after the cleansing rain. Clara lingered at the window for a few more moments, allowing the stillness of the morning to seep into her bones, to quiet her mind and prepare her for the day ahead. There was no rush, no urgency, just the gentle invitation to be present in this moment, to appreciate the quiet beauty that unfolded around her. The silvered world outside held a promise of peace, a gentle reminder that even after the rain there was always a stillness, a quiet strength, a renewed sense of calm waiting to be discovered. She felt a sense of gratitude for these moments of quietude, these pauses in the everyday rhythm that allowed her to reconnect with herself and with the simple beauty of the world. Chapter 2. The Garden Refreshed. After a leisurely start to her morning, Clara decided to venture into her garden. Stepping out the back door, she was immediately enveloped by the vibrant, refreshed atmosphere. The air was alive with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers, intensified by the recent rain. The colors of the garden seemed to have deepened overnight. The greens were richer, the reds and purples more intense, as if the rain had washed away any dust and revealed their true vibrancy. The sunlight, still soft and diffused, cast a gentle glow over everything, highlighting the glistening droplets that clung to leaves and petals. The grass beneath her feet was cool and damp, a pleasant sensation that grounded her to the earth. She walked slowly along the stone path, noticing the myriad details that had been transformed by the rain. Spiderwebs, usually almost invisible, were now intricate works of art strung with tiny, sparkling jewels of water. Each droplet reflected the soft light, creating miniature rainbows that shimmered and danced with the slightest movement of the air. The leaves of her rose bushes, usually a dusty green, were now a deep, glossy emerald, their velvety petals plump and heavy with moisture. She paused by her herb garden, inhaling the invigorating scents of rosemary and thyme, intensified by the rain. The leaves were beaded with water droplets, each one magnifying the tiny veins and textures of the plant. Gently, she ran her fingers over a sprig of lavender, releasing its calming fragrance into the air. The cool, damp earth beneath her fingertips felt rich and fertile, a tangible connection to the life that thrived in her garden. A small earthworm wriggled across the path, its segmented body glistening in the soft light, a reminder of the unseen life teeming beneath the surface. Clara noticed a ladybug, its red shell dotted with black spots, crawling slowly along a leaf. It paused, unfurled its delicate wings, and took flight, a tiny flash of color against the green foliage. The gentle buzzing of bees filled the air, contented and busy as they moved from flower to flower, gathering nectar from the rain-refreshed blooms. The sounds of the garden were soft and peaceful, the gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze, the distant chirping of birds, the quiet hum of insect life, a symphony of nature's gentle rhythms. She spent some time weeding, her hands sinking into the cool, moist soil. The act of tending to her garden was always calming, a simple, repetitive task that allowed her mind to quiet and her body to relax. She gently loosened the soil around her plants, feeling the earth crumble between her fingers, a tactile connection to the natural world. Each weed pulled was a small act of care, a way of nurturing the life she had cultivated in her garden. She felt a deep sense of satisfaction in these simple tasks, a quiet joy in watching her garden thrive. As she worked, she noticed a small bird bath nestled amongst the ferns, filled to the brim with rainwater. A robin perched on the edge, dipping its head to drink, its bright red breast a vibrant splash of color against the green backdrop. The gentle splashing of water as the robin bathed was a soothing sound, a reminder of the simple pleasures of nature. Clara smiled, feeling a sense of contentment wash over her. The garden, refreshed and renewed by the rain, was a sanctuary of peace, a place where she could reconnect with the quiet rhythms of life and find solace in the simple beauty of the natural world. Chapter 3. The Cozy Cafe Corner. The morning stillness lingered, but a gentle coolness in the air hinted at the approach of midday. Clara decided to visit Thomas's cafe, a cozy haven in the heart of Hillsbrook, for a warm drink and a quiet moment of respite. As she walked along the cobblestone streets, she noticed that the town still held the hushed atmosphere of the post-rain morning. The sounds were muted, the pace was slow, and a sense of tranquility permeated the air. Puddles still shimmered in the cobblestone dips, reflecting the sky and the charming facades of the buildings. Stepping into the cafe, Clara was immediately enveloped by a warm, inviting atmosphere. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee and sweet pastries filled the air, mingling with the subtle scent of old books from the small bookshelf in the corner. Soft instrumental music played quietly in the background, a gentle melody that added to the sense of calm. The cafe was mostly empty at this hour, with only a few patrons scattered amongst the tables, each enjoying their own quiet moments. The gentle murmur of hushed conversations and the soft clinking of cups created a peaceful, unobtrusive soundscape. Thomas, the owner, greeted her with a warm smile from behind the counter. His presence was always calming, his demeanor gentle and welcoming. He seemed to embody the quiet, peaceful spirit of Hillsbrook. "Good morning, Clara," he said softly, his voice as warm as the coffee he brewed. "The usual?" Clara nodded, a smile gracing her lips. "A latte, please, Thomas, and perhaps one of those almond croissants. They smell divine." Thomas chuckled softly, a gentle sound that blended seamlessly into the cafe's peaceful ambiance. "Coming right up." While Thomas prepared her order, Clara made her way to her favorite corner armchair by the window. It was a plush velvet armchair, slightly worn but incredibly comfortable, overlooking the quiet street outside. The window pane still bore faint streaks of rain, blurring the view just enough to soften the edges of the world outside, creating a sense of cozy enclosure within. She settled into the armchair, feeling its soft embrace, and watched the world go by in slow motion. A few people strolled along the street, their movements unhurried, their expressions relaxed. A dog walker paused to chat with a neighbor, their voices soft and indistinct. Thomas arrived with her latte and croissant, placing them gently on the small table beside her armchair. The warm mug radiated a comforting heat, and the almond croissant smelled buttery and sweet. "Enjoy, Clara," Thomas said softly, before returning to his place behind the counter. Clara took a sip of her latte, the warm, creamy liquid soothing her senses. The taste of coffee, rich and slightly bitter, mingled perfectly with the sweet almond croissant, creating a delightful sensory experience. She opened the book she had brought with her, a collection of nature poetry, and began to read, losing herself in the lyrical descriptions of landscapes and seasons. The cafe corner became her sanctuary for the next hour. The gentle warmth of the latte, the soft texture of the armchair, the quiet murmur of the cafe, the lyrical words of the poetry all combined to create a cocoon of peace and contentment. The world outside faded away, replaced by the inner landscape of her thoughts and the gentle rhythm of the words on the page. In this quiet corner, surrounded by comforting aromas and gentle sounds, Clara found a moment of deep relaxation, a peaceful pause in the flow of her day, a stillness between the raindrops of life. Chapter 4. Reflections in Puddles. Leaving the cozy warmth of the cafe, Clara stepped back out into the town, the air still cool and fresh. The sun had climbed higher in the sky, but its light remained soft and diffused, filtered through a thin layer of clouds. As she walked, she became increasingly aware of the puddles scattered across the cobblestone streets, remnants of the morning rain, now transformed into miniature mirrors reflecting the world around them. They weren't just puddles of water. They were portals to another dimension, offering fleeting glimpses of the sky, the buildings, the trees, all inverted and shimmering. She paused by a particularly large puddle, its surface perfectly still, reflecting the clear blue sky above. It was like gazing into a window to the heavens, the clouds drifting lazily across the reflected expanse. The cobblestones surrounding the puddle were mirrored with sharp clarity, creating a surreal, double-layered image of the street. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves of a nearby tree, and the reflection in the puddle rippled and distorted, the sky breaking into fragmented shards of blue, then reforming again as the water stilled. The ephemeral nature of these reflections held a quiet beauty, a reminder of the ever-changing nature of the world. Further down the street, she noticed a puddle reflecting the facade of the old clock tower, its stone walls and arched windows inverted in the water. The reflection seemed almost more real than the building itself, its colors richer, its details sharper, enhanced by the mirroring effect. She watched as a bird flew overhead, its shadow momentarily darkening the reflected tower, a fleeting interruption in the stillness of the image. The puddles were alive with these subtle moments, these transient interactions between light, water, and the world around them. She started to walk more slowly, deliberately seeking out puddles, intrigued by the unique perspectives they offered. Each puddle was different, reflecting a different slice of the world, capturing a different mood. Some reflected the vibrant colors of flower boxes overflowing from windowsills. Others mirrored the muted tones of stone walls and slate roofs. Some were small and shallow, like tiny silver discs scattered across the street. Others were larger and deeper, like miniature lakes reflecting entire landscapes. The sound of her footsteps changed as she walked, a soft, rhythmic splashing as she deliberately stepped into the shallow edges of some puddles, enjoying the cool, fleeting sensation of water against her shoes. In one puddle, she saw her own reflection staring back at her, inverted and slightly distorted, her face framed by the reflected sky and buildings. It was a strange and slightly disorienting experience, seeing herself as part of this mirrored world. A fleeting image captured in a temporary pool of water, she smiled at her reflection, a quiet acknowledgement of her presence in this moment, in this place, surrounded by the gentle beauty of the rain-kissed town and its reflective puddles. The walk became a meditative exploration of these watery mirrors, a gentle reminder to look at the world from different perspectives, to find beauty in unexpected places, and to appreciate the ephemeral nature of moments like reflections in puddles, beautiful and fleeting. Chapter 5. The Quiet Hearth at Dusk. As the afternoon gently faded into evening, Clara returned to her cottage, the air now carrying a hint of coolness that spoke of approaching night. The town was quiet, the pace slowing even further as people retreated to their homes, seeking warmth and comfort as dusk settled in. The sky was a soft palette of muted blues and grays, the last vestiges of daylight fading slowly, replaced by the gentle glow of evening. The scent of wood smoke drifted through the air, a comforting aroma that hinted at cozy hearths and warm meals being prepared. Inside her cottage, Clara lit a fire in the hearth, the dry kindling catching quickly and bursting into a cheerful blaze. The soft crackling of the wood filled the room, creating a sense of gentle movement and visual softness in the room. The sounds of the evening outside were muted, the distant hoot of an owl, the soft rustle of leaves in the night breeze, the occasional creak of the old house settling. After supper, she simply sat by the fire, letting the warmth and the quiet seep into her. She reflected on the day, on the stillness of the morning after the rain, on the beauty of the refreshed garden, on the cozy corner in the cafe, on the reflections in puddles, and on the peaceful contentment of the evening. Each moment, though simple and ordinary, held a quiet beauty, a gentle wonder, a reminder of the peace that could be found in the everyday rhythms of life. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for these simple joys, for the quiet moments, for the comforting presence of her home, and for the gentle beauty of the world around her. As the fire slowly burned down to embers, casting a soft, warm glow over the room, Clara felt a sense of deep peace and contentment settle over her, a quiet readiness for sleep. The day, with its gentle rhythms and moments of quiet wonder, had drawn to a peaceful close. The stillness between raindrops had given way to the quiet comfort of home, and as she drifted off to sleep, she carried with her the lingering warmth of the fire, the soothing crackle of the embers, and a gentle promise of another peaceful day unfolding in the rain-kissed town of Hillsbrook.